God's people had been taken away from their land because they had turned away from him. Later, many of them returned to Jerusalem, but the city was still in bad shape. The walls around Jerusalem were broken, and the gates were burned down. This left the city open to enemies and unsafe. Nehemiah was a man who loved God and cared deeply about his people. He lived far away in a place called Persia and worked as a cupbearer to King Artaxerxes. That means he served the king his drinks and made sure they were safe. One day, Nehemiah heard the news that the walls of Jerusalem were still broken. When he heard this, he was very sad. He cried, prayed, and fasted for days, asking God to help his people and to give him a chance to do something about it. Nehemiah then went to the king and asked if he could go back to Jerusalem and rebuild the wall. God gave him favor, and the king said yes. The king even gave Nehemiah letters for safe travel and supplies to help with the work. When Nehemiah arrived in Jerusalem, he quietly looked around at the broken walls and gates at night. Then he spoke to the people and said, "Let's rebuild the wall so we are no longer in disgrace." The people agreed, and everyone worked together. Families, priests, goldsmiths, and even guards. Each person helped with a part of the wall, but not everyone was happy about this. Some men, Sanballat, Tobiah, and Geshem, laughed at them and tried to stop the work. They made fun of Nehemiah and tried to make the people afraid. But Nehemiah didn't stop. He prayed and encouraged the people to keep going. He said, "The God of heaven will give us success." As the work continued, the enemies made more threats. So, Nehemiah set up guards and told the people to carry their tools in one hand and a sword in the other. Some worked while others stood watch. They stayed focused, even though it was hard. Then, the enemies tried to trick Nehemiah. They invited him to meet them, but Nehemiah knew they were planning to harm him. He answered, "I am doing a great work and cannot come down." He didn't let fear or distraction stop him. After 52 days, with God's help, the wall was finished. The people celebrated and praised God. Even the enemies were surprised and realized that this work had been done with the help of God. From Nehemiah's story, we learn how important it is to care about what matters to God. Nehemiah prayed first, then acted with wisdom and courage. He didn't let fear or distraction stop him. He stayed focused on the work God gave him to do. When we face challenges or people who try to stop us from doing right, we can remember Nehemiah, how he trusted God, stayed strong, and didn't give up. That's how God helped Nehemiah build a wall, and how he helps us stay focused today. Subscribe for more. See you in the next one.